I'm going to hate saying this, but I'm going to say it. I was wrong. And I'm rarely wrong, or everyone likes to think they are rarely wrong, but I'd like to think I know what I'm doing with a business. I know that people give me a lot of abuse saying, oh, you're the worst car salesman in the world and all you ever do is buy problems. Well, this is YouTube for you, and people like to know about the problems, but rarely do we talk about the successes. And we have had a success, but I was absolutely wrong about it. So last week I was talking about how bad the business is, and it was bad, and it still is bad. There's plenty of bad news for you, don't worry about that. Plenty coming up. However, we had a buyer on this classic Porsche 968. This car, I'd had him for a while. I'd taken it on sale or return from the soundest of blokes who randomly didn't come through YouTube, although I know he watches the channel. It was his son who bought a C63 from me and said, oh, that's the place, Mick, that you want to sell your car. Now, we had so much back and forth with this 968 because classic car buyers are, they're hard work. But I mean, I get it because it's a, it's a very old car with lots of mechanical moving parts and people want to make sure that it's right. Now, we never unfortunately got round to an AA inspection on that car because it was just one of the last ones to go through. So unfortunately, I didn't have that card to pull out and throw in his face. So I had to go back to basics. Now, we had lots of people interested in that car when it first went online, although we were reaching for the stars on price. I initially advertised it for £35,000. Everybody said I was mad. I was. It was a bit too strong, and we ended up reducing the price to closer to 30 coming into this year, thinking that is going to generate the interest. Now, we did have a guy that was genuinely interested in that car fairly recently. He was very, very picky, and he wanted to see absolutely everything on that car, so we had it up on a ramp, he could get underneath it, he was happy with everything, but he just said, it doesn't feel right, and I expected more. Now that car is like the nicest thing you've ever seen. It is genuinely split mint. However, he noticed there's a stone chip on the bonnet, which I'd told him about, to be fair. Strips on the side skirts were just starting to come away a little bit. I mean, this car is 30 odd years old. There are a couple of little bits that he just wasn't overly happy with. And he did say, you're asking strong money for it. I expect perfection. So I guess there's a little bit of a lesson learnt there, but I mean, we touched the stone chip in. What else can you do besides starting to paint a car? Anyway, that was the closest we'd got to a deal on it, and he loved it. He just didn't feel right for him, which is really frustrating. It's rare we have people come in and not actually buy the car, but I have found it more and more with classics that people just have this level that they expect. Anyway, I mentioned in a video last week that we had a guy called Bill who's interested in the car. We had to do lots of different walkarounds for him. Now, I was getting the Porsche buyer vibes. I am fussy. I'm not sure if I really want this car. Give me a reason not to buy it. However, Bill started to seem more and more encouraged when I started sending more and more videos through. So I showed him everything, stone chips, all the usual sort of stuff, which I'd be fair, had shown the last guy. And I thought, here we go again. Are we going to end up with another time waster here? Well, blow me down with a feather. Bill has bought the 968 and he is headed back down south, and here it is photographed on his drive with his other 968. So this guy was a proper enthusiast, knew exactly what he was looking at, looked around the car, could not fault it at all, and genuinely one of the nicest deals I've done in a long time. He was just so chilled out. He knew what he was looking at. The 968 that he owned, I think he'd bought it from new and had done 140,000 miles, so he got these transaxle Porsches. He knew exactly what he was looking for, and we did a deal. We did a bit of a deal on the price because of the rubber strips that run along these side skirts, which I never knew was an issue, but apparently they shrink over time. But we got that deal across the line. Now, unfortunately, there was a little problem with that car when it comes to finally selling it, and that is that the logbook was out of date. I had the wrong one. Don't know why. It's not a problem because, as I mentioned on the channel before, when you don't have the right logbook, the biggest issue you've got with selling the car is taxing it. You can get a new logbook with a V62, it costs 25 quid or whatever. That's not a problem at all. But actually taxing the car is now an impossible without a logbook. Well, I dived on the website that I've mentioned before. And by the way, not been paid for this. It paid me to mention it a while ago. I'm just reminding you about this product that is genuinely very good. So it is taxmyvehiclenow.co.uk. You dive on there. I want to say it was about 40 quid plus the price of the actual road tax for the year, which obviously the customer paid. And it was done within literally 5 minutes of selling that car. Customer knew nothing else other than the fact that his car was taxed. That's all that matters. We'll do the V62 in the background. He never needs to know. Everything is nice and seamless. A logbook isn't proof of ownership anyway. We've got all the invoices and receipts, so genuinely you're doing nothing wrong. Just make sure that the DVLA are aware of what's going on with that one. So we got dug out of the sticky stuff again by one of our contacts. Now, this ties in with some of the bits as well, because that week I had my head in my hands talking about how rubbish it was, etc. We sold 3 cars that day. So Bill bought the Porsche, We had a chap come over and leave a deposit on the Audi RS5, which we have not yet marketed. That came purely through YouTube. Now, there are a couple of bits that we'd not done on that car, which is why it hadn't been marketed. The rear discs were looking a little bit scabby, so it was yet to go through an AA inspection. Although it'd been MOT'd and they were fine, I was looking at them going, they just don't look okay to me. So we did the guy a deal. He said, look, my son is a mechanic. He's happy to do the brakes and you do a bit of a deal. Done. Deposit taken. We also sold the Abarth 595. Now, if you've not seen that video, it is here. That car came in on part exchange and it has cost me the earth to put right. It had this little sort of shake on it and I couldn't work out what it was. And so we took it to an Abarth specialist rather than just use the parts cannon at the car. And we ended up doing, taking the head off, cleaning all the valves. We did a new clutch, dual mass flywheel. I think it had a master cylinder on it as well. We checked the engine mounts, they were fine. Kind of top to bottom, timing belt got done on that car as well. The car was mega. Anyway, guys seen the video, bought it. See how YouTube and the business are starting to come together a little bit. So that was 3 cars done in one day, which is mega. And all of a sudden changes your kind of psychology of, oh, the world's ending, it's rubbish, to, here we go, do 3 cars a day, that'd be quite nice. To top it all off, we had the Jaguar XFR in here, which is on AA cars now for sale. It's on a couple of other places for sale as well. And we got a call from somebody who'd seen the video, a subscriber, who has left the deposit on that car as well. So technically, I know I'm being a bit of a salesman today, that's 4 in a day. My record, as a salesman, is 4 in a day. So I was sat here saying how rubbish it was, and then all it takes is a week like that and the tables totally turn. We also had a bloke turn up on the Saturday randomly to come and look at the C300. He wants to come back with his missus, so he's coming back across next week. So I was wrong. I was wrong about Porsche buyers. I wasn't wrong about Porsche buyers. They can be a nightmare. But I was wrong about this particular one. And had Alex have actually taken that bet, he would have actually won some money off me, which is a rare occurrence. Anyway, really positive stuff happening. Now, this week that's coming up, we're going to be prepping the R8. Lots of stuff going on with that car, ready to do a road trip in it because I've been sort of booked away to go down to Spain. So I'm looking forward to a nice breakaway in a V10 convertible through some mountains, which is amazing. So I've got some bits happening with that in the background. However, in other news, Carmora, the car buying website that we've set up, where we buy cars from the members of the public, give them strong money for them, and then trade them into trade contacts that we know at what we think is fair money, and they're getting proper cars, is absolutely ripping at the moment. So I think we're on about a dozen cars for the month already. Paul, my business partner on that, is an animal, an absolute warpath. So obviously I'm generating leads, if you want to call them, and putting cars through, and Paul is just getting them dealt. Now, we've done a couple of biggies. We're on with a Lamborghini Urus as well this week, which unfortunately just hasn't come to fruition. Reason being, nobody could find out the history of that car, and it just felt a bit smelly, which is a shame. However, we've also brokered some American stuff through there. Like, loads of stuff was going on. And all of a sudden, the 3 plates are starting to spin. So it's exciting stuff. So a while ago, I was buying a load of bits at the end of the tax year to try and spend some money to make sure that we didn't pay as much tax as we were due to pay. We're going to pay a lot of tax anyway. In fact, we just paid 15 grand in VAT this month. But anyway, I was buying stuff to try and mitigate as much tax as possible. It's a perfectly legal strategy. Everybody does it in a business. They go, oh, we made some money at the end of the year. Let's get rid of it quickly. Now, I ended up buying something that I'd totally forgotten about when I was on this warpath buying stuff, and this is me getting a box through and absolutely no idea what's in it.
You've been ordering off Temu again, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Well, you must know what it is.
I literally have no idea.
So I get to use this elusive opening knife again.
You are truly blessed, Mr.
It's a pleasure,
Mr. Tim. Let me just think if I've ordered anything embarrassing. Oh, it's from China.
What is
yes! God,
I know what this is. You'd forgotten you'd ordered. It's the bloody window cleaner.
It is the window cleaner.
Yeah, another present for me.
You are welcome, Mr. Tim.
Rob sacked his window cleaner.
I didn't sack the window cleaner. That's not fair. He became financially compromised. This was absurdly cheap, which is why it's taken so long. I didn't read the small print when it said 3 months for delivery. Oh, just in the nick of time as well. My window's at home need doing.
Sure, I'll get right on that, shall I?
Cheers. Good, yeah.
So this should be, it'll be, so obviously piece it together. How tall?
It's water fed.
Yeah, I noticed that with all the pipes and what have you.
And you can scan the QR code for installation video. Oh, it's a big
There's 8 pieces to this.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
You vertically challenged, you shall no longer beat him.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Squirt! That is his name, not mine.
Connect the water pipe assembly to the brush head.
Yeah, that's simple. Oh, he's getting his pole out, Alex. I think we know where this is going now.
Yeah.
And then surely there'll be a fitment to go.
Let's see what the quality of the squeegee is like, because this will be critical.
We'll just send it back.
Oh, aye. What's this? Where's the squeegee? That's no good.
It is.
Felt how hard bristles are. It said bloody hard brushes that. Unless you want your windows all scratching up, I will oblige you.
It won't scratch glass. No.
It's getting up there, is that? Surely, it must have come with... Did you look if it came with a squeegee?
You were rushing me, Tim.
Even if that does clean the windows, obviously you need to get rid of the water, otherwise it'll stain them all up.
Well, the window cleaner didn't use stuff.
No, he didn't actually.
Yeah.
That's why you sacked him.
I didn't sack him, Tim.
Oh,
We're having
man.
a rough year. Basically, what happened was I'm dying to sack someone.
Yeah.
Window cleaner copped it.
You've had a rate escape there, Alex.
Has he? Oh, that's actually quite... Clicks in. Yeah. I'm going to scratch my desk, look.
I can't believe you didn't order one with a squeegee. I'm astounded.
Are you?
Well, no, not really.
You're not getting used to this now, Tim, mate. Come on. You've had your 6-month review. You must be getting used to this right now.
Yeah.
And what will happen? Water will come out of here, Tim.
Yeah, I guessed that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Following?
Yeah, I am with you.
Alex?
Following.
We're all together.
Can't say I was paying any kind of attention to that video.
Yeah, so you then run the hose through your pole, and the hose comes through the end of the pole, goes in there, and then the pole goes on there.
So that must go on there then. No, it can't do, there's no thread. The hose goes directly onto that. Looks a bit flimsy. I'm sure it works.
Have you ever got anything nice to say?
Hey, if this came with a squeegee, I'd have been impressed.
Are you upset?
The
that it's
thing
not
we
there?
actually needed. What fixings? Oh, it might be some kind of universal thread, that.
You know what goes in there?
Well, the end of the pole. Yeah. I'm saying if it's a universal thread, then getting a squeegee will not be an issue.
Oh, follow.
You see what I
Sorry,
mean?
Tim, I
Rather
wasn't
than-
following. I was pulling faces, but I wasn't following.
Oh, right. Yeah, you were thinking to just duct tape it round or something, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I think you need a bit of abrasiveness.
Oh, it's rough as that. Bloody rough as that.
Glass takes it.
Yeah, it can take a bit. I mean, they won't surely sell it.
No, not the Chinese.
No, they wouldn't do that to
No,
us.
they wouldn't stitch us up, would they?
No.
So in other news, we are raffling another car, which I'm sure you're aware of anyway by now. So it's a BMW E46 330 Ci. We did a video on it here, and we mentioned it a couple of times on the channel. So we're raffling it for a quid, and there's a link in the description below. Now, even though it's a raffle car, it still feels like a car coming out of this business, if that makes sense. It still feels like it's got to go through the process. So Tim has made that car absolutely beautiful. He's wet sanded a load of the paint down where it was just starting to show a bit of age, etc. There've been a couple of smart repairs in the past that had a bit of sort of heavy lacquer on it. So it looks mint, but the one thing that's letting that car down is the roof. So it is a blue roof on it, which was an optional extra. We've decided what we're going to do is re-dye that roof because for the new owner, it's the only thing on it that I kind of think, I'd want that changing. Anyway, that led us trying to buy some roof dye online. And I know you like the back and forth with Tim and I. So this is trying to buy some roof dye.
So it's a bit like if Alex were here was to dye his hair. You know,
Which I think he does.
Which, yeah, probably
Because
does.
he's definitely ginger.
So the colour of this blue roof dye
Yes.
would be like, if Alex was to dye his hair blue,
Yes.
if he put it straight on, it's going on a darker colour, it wouldn't really show.
No.
If he was to dye it blonde first, it would then be blue.
Right.
So if you go too dark blue on a very dark blue roof, it'd be too blue for the dark roof, but
Yeah.
not blue enough for itself.
Yeah.
Navy blue then, is it going to be navy blue?
Well, they do navy marine. Is marine a colour?
Marine's got the greeny bit. It's like not turquoise, but towards that, I believe, which we don't want.
We don't want that. Or they do carbosonic. That's what I'm looking at anyway. Or blue. But the blue looks very blue.
It does, but like I say, it's going on something that's dark blue. So that blue, it wouldn't come out like that. It would be darker.
Okay. Dark green, Bordeaux, Orion grey. So they only sell the navy marine. They don't sell the dark blue.
I mean, I could be wrong about this marine business, but I think there could be a touch of green in there. What colour is navy marine? It's a rich, warm and earthy shade of dark blue. Here we go. That often features a slight green or petrol blue undertone. Right, so not marine.
So we're back to this stupid one on eBay then, aren't we?
Yeah, do they do 1 litre?
They do 1 litre, and that is the same brand as that one there. If you are adamant that that is what you think we should get, Tim, then on your head be it.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, which I often am, that will come out a darker shade.
Right, okay. Buy it now. So that's me buying more stuff then, is it? No one wanna? Alex?
What, while you're spending?
Picking this one.
Oh, you want Alex while he's spending?
Look at that, go on.
It's another job ticked off the list.
Do you want a little trimmer for your ginger probes?
Probes?
Close enough. So there's all sorts of stuff that's sort of bubbling away for this next week that's coming on. So obviously we've got the stuff going on with the Audi R8. We have brokered a deal on a really cool American car. So you've probably either seen the video already or might be seeing the video soon. That's happening in the background. I've got somebody on the McLaren, which is £140,000 worth that we didn't think would happen. So there's going to be some news coming on that as well. And then crucially at the end of the week, normally we have a bet on in here. We'll make a bet about something stupid during the week, and the winner of that bet or the loser of that bet will have to buy or not buy the round in the pub. Well, we didn't actually have a bet on this week, so we ended up using a spinny wheel online. I thought you might like to see that.
It's a sort of standard point we've arrived at every Friday afternoon with somewhere around an hour to go. Not an argument as such, more of a small debate. Yeah, friendly debate.
Yes.
Of whose round it is this week.
Who's round? Who's round? We should have some music. Put some music in. Okay, well.
There's only one fair way of doing this, as we all know.
No, I disagree. It's Alex's round. However, I would like to I think we should all make our arguments as to why it isn't our round this week.
Okay.
Allow me to go first.
Do.
I'm the boss.
That's it.
No. My argument this week is, how many cars has everybody sold today?
Zilch.
None?
I've chipped in on a few.
How many deals have you closed?
Technically, the 968.
How have you closed that deal?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you how I closed it.
Okay.
Fair enough, he had paid for it in full by the time he got here.
Correct. Follow my videos.
Unseen. He'd not seen he's followed your videos. Okay, big deal. He'd not seen the car.
The videos were a big deal. You watched last week's weekly.
So basically, I closed him so hard. I offered for him to view the car, and he said, "I don't need to."
I've seen Rob's videos.
I don't remember that little bit.
So there have been 4 cars sold today. Are you saying that you sold one of them?
The lovely Abarth people.
I am aware of the cars that have sold him.
Oh, you are? Right.
Because I sold them.
I was so hospitable.
Right.
They could do nothing more than buy the car.
Are you saying they bought it out of pity?
You dress it up how you wish.
I've sold 4 cars today. Granted with help from Tim. So actually, yeah, thinking about it, Tim, let's say you've sold 2. And I've sold.
I made them all drinks.
You did make them
Yeah,
drinks.
yeah. And that's usually Alex's
I
job.
can hear some noise over there.
I know there's something going on.
In fact, the bath. Remember going down the bath car was going.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not sure this car's for me, but I saved it.
You saved it.
Yeah. So either way, the salespeople that have created the revenue in order for everybody to get paid at the end of the month, us two, I'd say it can't possibly be our round.
No. So
does
there's
that
two.
leave?
So there's one more member of staff. It's your round, me old cock.
My argument.
Oh, he's got an argument.
I got last round in.
When?
If you can't remember, I do. Because it's expensive.
Language. We did go to a nice pub. However,
We did, and
can
I
mean, go on, Tim. You are welcome to interject.
Now that is just what I call bad luck. Yes, it was an incredibly expensive round. It was shocking. But they didn't really do cheap beer there, did they? So
Not what we were ordering, mate.
no, not what we were ordering.
Can I just make a point here? At what time during the day was that round bought?
Ooh, it was about 4:15.
Works time.
Yeah.
Don't count as a round.
Does it? How can it?
I've technically paid for that.
Yeah, and he's drinking on duty.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, it brings us back to the wheel.
It
The
does
wheel
bring us
will
back to
decide.
the wheel of decision. Random name picker. Here we go. So, it's already got Alex Wicks and Rob Cubitt in there. And then we've got Tim. The man with no surname.
By the way, before it spins, is it first
I
prize
think-
or best of three? Mind you, you are a lucky swine. No doubt it'll never land on you. It'll just be me and
In
poor
what
Alex.
way am I lucky, Tim?
Well, yeah, with the bets, and that's probably about it.
But that's a bit like saying to a professional poker player, you're lucky, mate.
There's an
I'm
element
quite
of luck.
insulted.
Best of three, then.
Best of three.
Oh dear, Alex,
that's
that
hard
is
luck, isn't it?
tragic luck. I mean, you couldn't write
We have
it.
a winner, Alex. I mean, we should. Sorry.
Best of 3.
Oh, so fair enough. I said best of three, didn't I?
Oh, this is looking.
Oh, I'm not liking that.
Oh, you dirty. I don't like this. This can't possibly be random.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Sudden death.
Next round.
It is an intense
I'm going
round.
for a shuffle. That'll do. That will do
wheel
nicely,
knows.
sir.
The
Well
wheel- yeah,
played, Tim.
well played.
Well played, Alex.
Yes.
Well played.
Yeah, well
Excellent.
played.
Lovely.
The
We'll have
wheel
another
has
one of those
spoken.
salted beers. And there you have it. That is another weekly roundup. Things are feeling really positive in here. Now, this next week coming is going to be absolute chaos happening in the dealership because there's so much happening before I disappear away and then I'm leaving everyone in charge besides me, which I'm worried about, but it should be okay. So all sorts of stuff are kind of bubbling away in the background here. So there'll be plenty more stuff coming along. Joining me on my car dealing journey, join me on my supercar journey with the cheap Audi R8, and we'll hopefully see you on the next one. If you've not bought a ticket for the 3:30 raffle, the link is in the description below. There is a QR code for you here. We will be making a charity donation as usual on the back of that car. It is lovely as well. So if you don't want the car, there is a cash alternative. I think it's £3,000, and I'll keep the car. I'd actually prefer it that way. However, if you've not bought a ticket, please do. Link in the description below. It supports the channel as well. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one, where hopefully next week we've sold even more cars. And then I will be a happy chappy. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.